Hi there, this is Henry Anderson, a family therapist with Spartanburg District 3 schools, and I've been sharing some videos with some self-care information and some practices to support that information. And today I'm going to suggest a few things related to routine and habit, and then talk a little bit about and guide you through a little bit of a practice that's oriented toward kind of being in touch with what's happening in the body, emotionally and physically, and also to be kind of more at ease with it. So, routine, let's talk about that for a minute. Routine is something that I'm sure all of you have a lot of familiarity with working in the school system. It's an integral part of how students come to learn. It's an integral part of how family life occurs if you're parents or if you're the students watching this video now. Routine might be something that you either do or don't notice a lot in life, but it certainly is there, and if you pay attention you might notice that you've actually have certain routines that you didn't even think about. When you wake up, for instance, anyone who wakes up usually kind of goes into the same habit of what they do next, And part of why I'm mentioning routine in reference to self-care is that it's often the case that we find ourselves in habits of routine that we actually don't like very much. Routines that don't help us or that are unhealthy even. And taking a look at how I go through my day and actually intentionally choosing what to build as routine into my life can have really beneficial effects. So what routine is basically habit. And when we establish habit on purpose, even small things like how we say good morning to people, how we take a few moments to ourselves during the middle of the day if we have that option, even small little pieces of time like that, that might actually have a pretty large impact in how we feel about ourselves and others throughout the whole day. And what I would suggest really specifically, in addition to just examining your own routine and your own schedule and deciding whether it's one that you want to continue or if it's one you want to change a little, I would encourage you to use either practices that I'm sharing with you or other types of practices that specifically are geared toward helping you take care of yourself, helping you feel more peace, more relaxation, letting go of stress more easily, and build those into your daily routine so that they just become like, brushing your teeth or eating a meal. They're just a part of the day so that you don't have to remind yourself about them over time. So with that said, what I'd like to do is guide you through one specific practice called a body scan. Now, a body scan is simply kind of what it sounds like. You're scanning your body, but what you're actually paying attention to are the sensations of the body. And what you're using to scan the body is your attention. A little like if you were to imagine your attention was a laser beam or a flashlight beam. You're kind of shining it in different places of the body and focusing on sensation in the body, like at the skin or in the muscles or in the organs of the body, and doing your best to maintain an attitude of just kind of open interest, just trying to even be fascinated with what's going on there in the body or there in the body. And do your best to just let the sensations occur and let them pass, and do your best not to try to make them any different or to try to wish they were different, right? So I'll go through a kind of quick version of this. You can slow it down and spend 45 minutes, an hour just paying attention to the subtle detail of each little space of the body. But we'll go through rather quickly so you kind of get the taste of it, and then you can try it on your own in more extended versions if you want. So what I'd encourage you to try is either lie down. That can be helpful. This body scanning is really good for helping sleep too. Or sit in a comfortable posture. And if you're in the place to do that now with me, go ahead and find that posture. And I'd encourage you, as I'm going to do, to close your eyes. It's just a little more helpful to focus on the inner experience of the body. And before we actually engage in the body scan, this quick version of the body scan, do your best just to let the spine lengthen up. Tilt the tailbone down toward your seat. And let the sternum rise a little bit, giving yourself plenty of room to breathe. And you might even intentionally relax the face, the jaws, the neck, the shoulders, the stomach. Good. Now direct your attention to the location of the body where your face, head, and neck are. You can move around that space of the body or just cover it completely, simply noticing what it feels like there. Notice any degrees of temperature, pressures, tingling or tickling, any feeling of tightness or relaxation, any textures, anything you notice in the face, head, and neck right now. And simply observe it with an open interest. Good. Now move your attention down the body to where the shoulders, arms, and hands are. Try to let the sensations in that place of your body, at the shoulders, arms, and hands, whatever you notice there, let the sensations fill your awareness right now. You may feel clothes on the skin. You may notice weight of the arms. You may check in to see exactly where your hands are and what they're touching right now. Doing your best not to think about what these places of the body feel like, but simply focus on the sensations that you notice there. Good. Now move your attention to your torso, beginning in the back, just feeling the skin and the muscles and even the bones, the upper back, the lower back, maybe feeling the clothes on the skin again, or if you're leaning against something, feeling that pressure or weight. And also notice the front of the torso, the chest and the stomach. Maybe noticing how the breath makes the stomach rise and fall. Just let any sensations you notice in the torso, the back or the front, or the side where the ribs are, let those sensations fill your awareness right now. Good, and in a similar way, move your attention downward, noticing the area of the pelvis, the legs, and the feet. Simply letting your attention move in that space, so whatever sensations you notice come up. Maybe the weight of your body on your sitting bones, or at the waistline, feeling the clothes on the skin. Try to feel deep into the legs, the skin, the muscles, even way down into the bones. And you might put all of your attention on the feet, feeling the weight that they may be carrying, feeling deep inside the feet. Simply being open and curious to what those areas of the body feel like right now. Great. Now move your attention upward again, but this time let it go deep into the belly. Move your attention inward to the center of where your belly is, in that space of your body where your intestines or your stomach organ is. You may not notice a lot, and that's fine, but just keep your attention in that space, that location. Doing your best to be open and curious of any sensations you may notice there. With your attention still deep inside the belly, let it move up the center of the torso, past the sternum, into the space deep in the chest where your heart and your lungs are. Simply notice whatever it is that you notice there, even if it's not very much. Stay with the sensations of the lungs taking in and pushing out air. Stay with any sensations in that place where your heart is. Any pressure or heaviness, any openness, any warmth. Or if you don't feel very much, that's fine. Just keep your attention in that location. Good. Now briefly, imagine that your attention is expanding out of your chest to include your entire body right now. All of it. Simply focus on how the whole body, this one body, feels right now. Okay, great. Now you can go ahead as we finish this practice and open your eyes or look up. Now, as I mentioned, this is a relatively short version of this body scan. You can go pretty detailed in one eye, one cheek, all the way down through the details of the body and let it last a long time if that's of interest to you. But whatever you find interesting in terms of self-care practice, mindfulness practices, or meditations, or gratitude contemplations, whatever works for you, use it and try to make it a part of your routine intentionally to create that habit of self-care throughout your life.